You're in this video because you either get dizzy when you play games, or you're a very curious person. Either way, I love you. Aww. Welcome to my channel, I'm Bray. I'm feeling really excited about my channel, and I feel more and more inspired to make videos, and so I am making more, as you can tell. So I thank you guys for the encouragement.
Thank you!
Well, today I want to talk a little bit about dizziness in games while I play Gourdlets. I think this is how it's pronounced, I'm not sure, which is extremely cute.
It's all fluffy!
I'm going to use it as a visual because I won't be able to record the game that makes me dizzy. I'm not crazy. Or maybe I am. No, I'm not. But I'm going to use reference videos from other channels. Well, there's something called motion sickness, which describing it would be a feeling of nausea or discomfort that some people feel while playing games. Apparently, this happens when there's an imbalance between what the eye sees and what the body feels. Well, the feeling is usually triggered by fast camera movements, like first-person games, or games with fast movements. And because of that, I have the incredible option of eliminating several games from my list. But sometimes I don't cross some off. And you know what's even more incredible? This feeling doesn't only happen with movements. But guess what? You're right. Also colors. So I don't get screwed in just one situation, but in two. When I played Journey to the Savage Planet for the first and last time, I got really dizzy because of the colors. More specifically, the saturation. But the game is also in first person, which makes everything complicated for me. Playing first person means having to move the camera really fast, and that sucks. Okay, if you look at the game screenshots, you'll notice that it's colorful. Well, yeah. It's all my fault in that case. Calico was also a game that made me dizzy. The colors aren't saturated, but I felt super uncomfortable with them. Which is strange because in Gourdlets, I don't feel anything. The colors are pastels, but it's still colorful. I don't know if it could be because of the scenery, like Calico is in 3D and Gourdlets is isometric. All I know is that this little game here is so cute. Like every time I go to decorate or build, the little thingies interact with what I'm doing.
Oh my god!
It makes me want to cry because it's so cute.
Guys, don't worry, I'm perfectly fine.
Sorry, I'm a little sensitive. But it's not often that I realize that a game can make me feel sick. Sometimes it seems harmless. As in the case with Coral Island. That's right. The camera is distant and locked on the character, but it still ended up making me feel sick. I remember it was because I usually look at the character in the game while it walks, and in that case I ended up getting dizzy. And when I tried to focus on another point in the screen, it didn't help much. And it made me really dizzy. You know, I ended up uninstalling it. Sometimes my discomfort gets so bad that I had to lie down for a while, and I'm not kidding. My head spins so much that it feels like someone turned a drill directly on my scalp. I feel really sick. I have to lie down for a long time until the feeling goes away. So, what to do in these cases? The first game I noticed this feeling was in Minecraft. I thought it was cool to play because I could build things, but I always got dizzy after playing for just a few minutes. At the time, I didn't know what it was about. I thought it was something in the game, but even after learning about motion sickness, I try to go back into playing and change some options, like mouse sensitivity or putting in third person, etc. So if the game allows it, I put in third person, and even then I can still feel dizzy because it depends on what your character needs to do. In Minecraft, you have to move around a lot to build, so I ended up stop playing it. For example, when I play Red Dead Online and I decide to collect the collector's card, I have to go inside houses and turn around a lot, and that makes me very dizzy. I end up stopping playing because of the dizziness, but if my focus is on something with less camera movement, then I can play more calmly. But any movement that's too fast, I run the risk of getting dizzy. But what happens when there's no solution? What happens is that the brain ends up not wanting to play the game because of the discomfort it creates. So I just don't feel like playing Minecraft, for example. Which is good because I'm not sad about not being able to play. I just feel a repulsion at the thought of playing the game. With the game Kong, it was the same thing. I found out its premise quite interesting because it was set in Australia. It felt a little different from the usual crafting and farming games, and I even recorded. Unfortunately, I got quite dizzy playing, even though there was an option to, I think it's force and isometric. I was quite excited because I think it reminds me a bit of Animal Crossing, and I've always wanted to play it. But unfortunately, I felt uncomfortable playing it and I slowly lost interest. So, as I said at the beginning, I end up crossing certain games off the list because they can make me uncomfortable. That's right, sometimes the solution is to avoid playing them. These are usually games that only have first person, that is, there are no options to change. Games that require you to move around a lot, usually survival and crafting games, and very colorful games. And some mysterious ones that I'll know only after playing it. Even The Sims can make me feel a little dizzy if I turn the camera too fast, but not enough to make me feel uncomfortable. Before I end this video, let me show you what King's Landing turned out like. I know it's a pretty sharp name for such a cute game, but I couldn't think of anything else, okay? So I made a small town. I started with this neighborhood here. I didn't record, but yeah. The idea was to make a street, but I thought that it reminds me of cars and that reminds me of dirt. Listen, I don't want to offend anyone who plays The Sims 4 by mentioning cars. Well, I went on the beach and I made a restaurant with places to sit outside and a fire pit. Then I made a town hall with a little square behind it, which leads to a little market with cafes, and crafts. At the end of it, there is a park. I thought it would be for kids, but it only has these little thingies, so they use it themselves, which is ridiculously cute.
Oh my god!
Then I made a farm with a house, and that's it. Welcome to King's Landing. Well, it doesn't sound very inviting, but anyways, back to the main topic. I can't play mini games, but don't be sad. I have other types that I like to play and that I recommend here on my channel. So if you also have this feeling of dizziness, maybe I can give you some nice recommendations here. But tell me, are you just a curious person, or do you also have the gift of feeling dizzy while playing?